Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I'm in the little Balkan village of Genchovci, deep in the Balkan mountains in the heart of Bulgaria. And I'm in some sort of, well, if I make a video, of course, I'm in some sort of crazy fruit collection. Here is an older couple by Marin and Nadezhda, his wife. His wife is the one who is breeding the rare fruits. By Marin is rather breeding rare fowl, like rare pigeons, chickens and ostriches. And he also has the garden where the real food grows. Let's look around. There is a lot, so I'm gonna do a very quick survey of the garden. Here is some Paciflora Chirulia. They had two different varieties, but one died. I told them they need the second one if they want fruit. They said they will try to get a new one. Some nice dessert grapes. This, unlike the Paciflora, is very typical for Bulgaria. Well, here they are trying some Mediterranean stuff like carob and caparis, and both are not doing very well. Well, the bay leaf is doing well. This is some new additions. Some Phoenix from Spain. I think it's Phoenix Canariensis, but not sure. Well, what do they have here? This kaki tree here. They say last year it had 450 huge, beautiful kakis. Unbelievable, but I believe them in that case. On such a young, smallish tree. What was the name of those? We used to call it Chinese grape when we were little. I think it's also edible. What's it called? One of the miracle fruits, I think. Here they have something, I warned them about it. Phytolacca americana. In Germany, this is the pokeweed. In Germany, a big part of my job is destroying this pokeweed. Here they say there is an area in Bulgaria where they use the leaves. The leaves of this highly toxic plant to wrap rice in them. Incredible. Here is a peach tree, and this looks like one seedling tree with those small fruits. Well, here is some Chinus, of course, in a pot. We are here in zone 7 USDA, so all the subtropical and Mediterranean things, it's really hard. Here's some tiny pomegranate. I think they could try some pomegranate outdoors, but I haven't seen any outdoorsy one here. Here this was... what was the name of this here? Also some type of wheat from the US. The fruits are actually edible. You can make very nice stir fries from them. Fuchsia. Unfortunately, they haven't had fruit yet. The fruit of the fuchsia are also edible. Here another peach. Some kiwi, probably Actinidia arguta, which died back. Forest strawberries, which still fruit in the middle of July in this hot summer. Incredible. A lot of different, well, not a lot, but a couple different cacti. Some even with edible fruits, but it's very hard to identify cacti. Olives, of course, in pots. Raspberries, yeah, this is a big raspberry growing area around here. Pawpaws, which haven't fruited yet, but I told them not to give up hope. Some plums behind the pawpaws, those plums grow well. Some red pears. This must be a Lagerströmia. Here some gooseberries and currants among the raspberries. And here some, what was it called? Sea buckthorn. They are still waiting for the healthy fruits. In other places around here they grow quite well and grow a lot of fruits, but not in this garden. Almonds. This is not really an almond growing area, it's much too cold, but this has survived, and for the first time, not this one, but this one down here for the first time has a couple fruits now. No idea what this banana is. Of course, I guessed Musa Basio, but if you have some better idea, please tell me. They say it freezes back to the ground every year, so they are not really sure what it is. Never flowered, never fruited. Tell me if you think you know what it is. Those folks will be very happy to hear your opinion on it. Let's see what else we have here. An Ornamental Quince. However, this is fruit variety or hybrid of the Ornamental Quince with big, nice edible fruits. Somewhere over there they also have an ornamental variety of the Ornamental Quince, but I didn't see it. Here are a couple of hairy kiwis. Here a ginkgo. They hope it's a male because they don't want the stinky fruit. I told them they are edible, but nobody likes them, even I don't. Well, the fig, yeah, as you can see, it's quite a harsh climate. The fig doesn't look really well. Behind it, the local apple and walnut trees. And here another plum tree. Let's see what else we can find. Well, they have a guest house here which is called Bajmarini Straußite, Bajmarin and the ostriches. However, unfortunately, there's just one ostrich left. They poisoned the male and she is still mourning after 3 years. Yeah, I don't want to say what those people are who poison innocent birds because the video will get, well, cancelled on YouTube. Yeah, Here they are protecting this one pair. About 8 years ago, the whole mountain sides around here were planted with hazelnuts for subsidies, and they were protected with those blue nets. Not a single hazelnut survived, but the subsidies were plentiful. Let's see here. The next garden. Oh God, we are already at 6 minutes. I don't want to make the video too long, but this garden is really plentiful, and I have never had the chance to do another crazy fruit collection here on the Balkans. Here we have another grapevine, no idea what it is. This is the normal pen of the ostriches, as you can see. Here are all the feathers. An apple. This is a feral seedling mulberry, definitely from those leaves. White mulberries, well, black mulberries, they never had black mulberries here, and the white ones were mostly used for the silkworms. Today I filmed a couple really ancient mulberry trees, 1 to 2 meters thick. Beautiful quince. Oh, the ostrich is observing me. What am I doing in his pen? Let's see what else we have here. Some plums and sour cherries, and everywhere the feral cherry plums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees growing here. Cherry plums, maybe the most underrated fruit of Europe. They will fruit almost every year, in almost every climate. Those are good ones. Quite mild ones, but good ones. Here, some old plows. Beautiful old horse cart. Yeah, people are not using them around here anymore, but a lot of them are still protecting them. Old barrels, old stuff. Old spinning wheel and things like that. Really beautiful. Here the neighbor's garden, also with the standard Bulgarian fruit trees, but not with the crazy stuff. Here is, by the way, the house they are renting. Lots of giant elk heads and other trophies here. Here in the villages almost everybody is a hunter, so most houses are full of trophies and old relics. Beautiful. Let's go up there and show them. As I said, this house where I'm right now, you can even rent it. Nice. I would rent it, but I have my own house in the nearby town, so I don't need to do it. Yeah. Lots of hunting around here. There is not much else to do. There is a village every couple kilometers, and in between there are just forest with wild animals. So that's what most of the guys are doing here in their spare time. Hunting. Let's see what we have down here. A couple random citruses. This is probably a Pavlovsko lemon. She had another citrus in a pot which she said was sold to her as a lime, but she's sure it's a lemon. Oh, here an old barn, by the way. Also beautiful. What was this called in English? Wattle walls or something? Ancient walnut. Look at that. This is about a meter thick. Beautiful ancient walnut. Here tomatoes. A Bulgarian garden is nothing without tomatoes. And of course a Bulgarian garden is nothing without peppers. Those are some of the most important vegetables here. A couple carrots and dill. some American grapes here, some fox grapes. Here in the mountains, those American fox grapes are very popular because they can cope with our climate. This is not a wine growing area, but the fox grapes do well. In contrast, those here, those must be some official varieties, as you can see. They do much less well. A lot of bad grains on them, while the fox grapes, look at that, every single grain is a success. So we like our fox grapes around here. This looks like red currant. Yeah, it's the red one. Also quite popular around here. Probably already got harvested. Here we have a jujube or Chinese date. This is pretty uncommon in Bulgaria, but it is being known, it is being planted, it is being used. It's just not common. Here the label of the house with the ostrich on it. Let's see what is behind that. I think they have a couple interesting things in this garden. Then we go to the other garden. So there must have been a mill somewhere around here. Look at all those millstones. Yeah, this is an area with limestone and sandstone. Here we have both of them. It's always important to know what rocks you have your garden on, because the rocks, they define the soil, and the soil defines what you can grow. He wants me to show the different grapes. Yes, as I said, this is not a grape growing area. So here, look, the fancy dessert grapes, they are grown on the southern wall of the house to get the maximum heat. The fox grapes don't need that. You can even grow them in the shade and they will survive. They just taste foxy. Here's some other citrus. Not sure what it is. Mostly people grow lemons here, but there's also other stuff. Here a Poncirus, so most people know it under the name Flying Dragon, although Flying Dragon is just a variety. Yeah, those are the fancy grapes. They tend to grow in the lowlands. Here in the hills, we are here at about 600 meters or almost 2,000 feet over sea level. Here you have to get creative when you want to have the fancy grapes. You grow them on the south-facing white wall so they get double the light. Here one of our old sickles. I have a collection of them. Yeah, when Game of Thrones was very modern, people invite me a lot for my araks, which were much better quality than anything they could produce in the role-playing community. Here a ruta, a nice Mediterranean herb, which is a citrus relative. Here again some other hardy cacti in this little tree trunk. This is some sort of Saturea montana probably, and here we have some sort of wood sorrel. I wonder if this has edible tubers. Would be interesting. Let's go to the main collection again. I don't even know if they ever had such shoes around here. Maybe rather in the lowlands. Those are made out of corn husks. So I think they were more typical for the lowlands, where they did a lot more with corn than here in the mountains. He wants me to show you again the beautiful cart. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen here in the area. Nicely painted, beautiful. Well, let's look at the other old stuff here. It's hard to find such a nice collection. It's like a museum, and all this is kind of connected to the local farming and gardening. Here I think this is a shepherd's purse. This is how they used to spin the wool. What have we got here? A nice old bed, old trunks, the old traditional Bulgarian pottery. Beautiful. That's a nice collection. Много хубава колекция. Oh, and here they are making those not patchwork, but those rugs which are so popular with the tourists. And here I think they are spinning the stuff. Beautiful. Huh. Nice old collection. And here they used to have the babies. That's so nice. I've seen a lot of, and that's a trough they used to make the bread. This is made out of one giant tree trunk. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those little collections, but this is one of the good ones, folks. Just like their exotic fruit and veg collection is the biggest I've ever seen here in the Balkans. That's why I came here 3 days in a row checking for them and trying to find them until I finally found them. And this is one traditional barrel. It's not out of shape, that's the normal shape. That's the shape they used to have, used for wine and cabbage and stuff like that. Beautiful. Let's see what else we have here. This is some fancy pear. She didn't even tell me what this is. I've never seen a pear like this. Let's see here, some more bananas which are not doing so well. Here she has some strange red-leafed red peach, and she says she has fruits for the first time on this tiny thing, so she doesn't even know what they taste like. The bay leaf, she said it didn't freeze back, they cut it back. Here a melon, Bulgarian musk melon, which seems to be the true cantaloupe according to my friend Ilya from Romania. This is a plant but no fruit right now on it. Here a more traditional orchard with plums, cherry plums, apples, pears. Well, and the less traditional stuff are the fancy modern fancy modern hazelnut varieties, which have become quite popular in the last decades. Before that, people would just collect hazelnuts, which would usually grow along the mountain streams here. Smaller, native wild hazelnuts. But in the last decades, they have become quite popular. This is a service tree, still very tiny, but she has hope that one day she'll be able to eat the service tree fruit. Blackcurrant here, pumpkin, which is probably not going to become anything this year. Here a traditional pear tree with a lot of suckers. You can basically graft all of those and make different pear varieties from them. More old barrels of different shapes and sizes. Beautiful. Let's see, there was a lot more rare stuff here, at least rare for Bulgaria. I mean, until like 10-15 years ago, it was pretty hard to get stuff here from the internet, so she has collected most of it by hand with a lot of effort. Another jujube, some nice big plums. Oh, what is this? Didn't even see this. Ah, no, this is a Eonimus, nothing edible. Let's see, there is more. Ah, interesting. Suckers of the jujube, quite nice. Raspberries, as I said, this is a good area for raspberries. When I was a kid, there were even a lot of giant plantations around here, but they ran out of workers to pick them. The gooseberries, they don't do well here, she says. They get covered with mold, with mildew every year. Not so good. Lots of nice, beautiful rare flowers. She collects not just rare fruits, but rare flowers, rare plants. This must be Spartium junceum, and this is a false jasmine. Beautiful. Oh, the gages are getting ripe, and there is just one left here. I love gages. They are my favorite plums. I think I already showed you the pawpaw. Are those the Japanese cucumbers? They definitely are Japanese cucumbers here. Don't know if those are those. Here's some fancy exotic beans. Goji berries. Sorry for running so fast around here, but it's really a huge collection, so I have to cover it in a very short time. Lots of nice and interesting spices. Here is a loquat. They're afraid to grow it outdoors, so they grow it in the pot. I told them they could try it here outdoors, but I don't want to be responsible if it dies. More different cacti. Olives are also being grown in pots here. Here one of the fancy hazelnut cultivars with with big nuts. Hazelnut is one of the few true nuts. Here another, that's not a, there is something foxy about this one. Could be some fox grape hybrid, or could be some European stuff. Beautiful old houses, even if though this one is not as original as the other one, but still quite nice. Here corn. Shamerops, she said she donated her 2 European dwarf palms to the town hall, and the cleaning ladies, they just poured the cleaning water into the containers. They killed this one. She went to a laboratory and it turned out, they are pouring the cleaning water with all the nasty chemicals in there, and killed one, almost killed the other one, so she took it back. What a pity. She says this was sold to her as a lime, but she doesn't really believe it. I don't believe it either, folks. Is this a lime? I wouldn't say so. For me, this is a lemon. Oh, okra. I hated this vegetable so much as a child. Don't know what this is. Is this an avocado? Probably. Another fig in a pot. Cactus. What have we got here? Here we have, this is one of the traditional leaf vegetables of our area. It's an atriplex. Here a brookmansia, here a beautiful, she says it's a gladiolus. It doesn't look, the flower doesn't look like the gladiolus at all, but it's possible. Rosemary, here it's also hard to grow it outdoors. Let's see what else. I want to go, oh, wait. No, I thought there was something rare over there, but it's not. Let's see. Well, here another one of the small mountain peaches. Those are not the big fancy varieties, but small mountain seedling peaches. Let's see, there was a lot more stuff here. Well, I'm skipping most of the flowers, of course, except for some quite exceptional ones. Here you see again the fancy grapes are on the southern side. They have a lot of beautiful swallows here. Look at those swallow nests. This one is still full of little chicks. And again, a lot of old stuff. Let's go to the back. Let's go to the garden where the real food comes from. Here, by the way, some of those fancy modern chilies. They, of course, are bickering around all the time. The grandpa says, well, grandma, that's just your hobby. That's not a real garden. The real food grows in the other garden. Here a couple more traditional Bulgarian fruit trees, basically the same as we already saw. Cherries, cherry plums. So here we have a cornel cherry. This is also quite popular in Bulgaria. Walnut. Lime trees are very common in our area, and they are being used a lot for honey and for tea, and also for the soft wood. Now let's see here. This is more like a traditional Bulgarian garden. Beans are also a very important part of a Bulgarian garden. Pumpkins. Back there, the potatoes, they taste so much better than this stuff from the supermarket. They are beautiful, they are amazing. Here a German medlar, which despite being called German medlar actually originates from Bulgaria and other nearby countries. And here he said he just harvested the onions and planted cabbage for the winter. Here are the Japanese cucumbers, more beans back then, more fox grapes. Beautiful, folks. I hope at least some of you stayed with me till the end. Beautiful garden. I had to do it really quick, or I would have had to spend like an hour here. The most amazing collection I've ever seen in Bulgaria, and especially in this quite cold Balkan mountains. It's amazing. I love it. I love those people. It's just amazing. And even their birds, I love them. So folks, this was the best exotic fruit and plant collection I could find here in the Balkan Mountains. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful Balkan Mountains. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.